Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I am Tshepiso Gower. I'm a social activist from Botswana. I'll be presenting on my approach to economic empowerment, which I like to call the caretaker approach, in a project I'm embarking upon called Evision. Right. So let me ask you, what do you see when you look at me? First of all, versus that. You see a young, well-poised lady, drop-dead gorgeous. You have no idea that I know this. I know what it is like to study by candlelight on a hungry stomach for an examination tomorrow. Not sure I will come home and find my mom and my brother having been evicted from our house. I know poverty firsthand. I've seen the effects of poverty, from drug abuse to prostitution to child trafficking to drug trafficking, the whole shebang. In 2010, 10 years ever since the millennium, there is still a very high probability that I will be walking home from school and I might just get raped. I might just get robbed. Now the question becomes, where is the disjuncture? Where is the break in the chain? Why do all these discrepancies still exist? With so much aid being pumped into third world countries, why do all these problems still exist? Some have blamed it on corruption, poor governance, lack of managerial skills in government structures. But I say the problem is that this money is being targeted to the wrong things. This money is wasted on anti-prostitution, anti-child trafficking, anti-domestic violence, this and that. All of these are the effects of poverty, but it fails to go to the root problem of poverty, which is essentially the lack of economic empowerment of caretakers. Caretakers of whom, based on the statistics in the third world countries of the upsurge in single-parent homes, are mothers. So if you are able to target her, she is the foundation. Essentially, you will be reversing the poverty snowball effect of it, if I may call it that. So this is why I call for a redirection of economic empowerment policies to focus on the caretaker. As I said, she is the foundation of society. So if you target her, you have essentially won the battle. The trickle-down effect of that is astounding, and it still blows my mind today from the research that I have conducted myself in my personal capacity. Which is why, with this approach, I have my program which is called Evision. Evision stands for Entrepreneurial Vision, another lens, as the name goes. This is essentially a program that facilitates entrepreneurship. It is targeted towards young, aspiring women entrepreneurs in my home country of Botswana. And the vision, as I said, is to just take them through the business process to facilitate entrepreneurship. How it works is that it imparts fundamental skills of entrepreneurship. The basis being capacity building and strategic management, and then subsequently the pillars of entrepreneurship, for instance, from how to do a business plan to marketing to how to use the web, e-commerce, so on and so forth. But all of these are essentially the pillars of entrepreneurship. Now, the Vantage Point, I suppose, is the strategic alliances with the financial institutions, banks and asset management companies, because they can benefit in investing in potentially high return on investment businesses. And on top of that, in my country, the government has put in place a lot of funds and grants for people to take up. So this allows my program to come in and bridge that gap, because essentially the people don't have the skills to take up these programs. So I bridge that gap, I bridge that divide. And on top of that, I walk the entrepreneurial journey with them. It's not just let me teach you how to do it and then leave you. I walk with you the process of entrepreneurship. The other point on it is just the rollout of the program. Most of these programs in third world countries are based in the urban areas. And this fails dismally because most of the most creative ideas come from the rural areas. So based on those strategic alliances with the banks, they are spread out all over the country. This allows me to be able to touch each and every Botswana in my home country. And then the other beautiful thing about this project is that with the turnaround period of 2 years and the fact that it's done on a competitive basis, the first pool of women are expected to have completed the theoretical matter. They're expected to have started a program by the end of these 2 years, and they can then act as mentors for the next batch of recruits. And then the other thing, which is just amazing about my program, honestly, is the fact that it's based on the power of the sole proprietor. If you are able to empower one, she hires 4. If you empower 5, they each in turn hire 4. That's 20 people. But let's also consider the communities that these young people affect, and the families that depend on them. So this is the missing link to that broken chain that I showed earlier on. We need to redirect the focus of economic empowerment policies to focus on the foundations of societies, the marginalized groups. And this most dominantly is women, as I have said. So that is my approach. And now in terms of you, how you can help me. I am looking for assistance in any shape, form, or kind. This may be in terms of skills and expertise, marketing, web hosting, funding, and amongst other things. But there's a lot which you can do to assist me. But thank you so much for your time and attention.
That was fantastic.